Chapter 234. Sort Energy Threads. Scumbag. Chen Yiling savored this novel name and said to Song Shi, "That name is quite suitable for you." Song Shi's face darkened. "Don't slander me. When did I become a scumbag? I've always supported men having multiple wives and concubines. I'll take in whoever I like and never abandon them, so you don't have to worry." Shameless. Why should I be worried? Chen Yiling felt that she had been tricked. She snorted and lowered her head to bowl tea seriously. Song Hai winked and said, "Old 7, you're in the Heavenly Ghost sect now. Why are you with Miss Chen? Isn't that like a mouse being with a cat?" "It can't be helped. Into handsome women who are both good and evil flock to me," Song Shi said shamelessly. Chen Yiling scoffed and wanted to splash tea on Song Shi's face. Song Hai could tell that their relationship was a little strange. He tactfully did not ask further and returned talking about Son who, although third brother is shameless, he has been developing quite well recently. He even wanted me to go over and help him, but I rejected him. Song Shi nodded. "I don't want to bother with him either, but you still have to keep an eye on Bebe and Dad. If possible, bring them back. I'm afraid that if something happens, third brother will sell them away first. Although it's not to that extent, since you've spoken, I'll try my best to bring them back." Song Hai nodded. "I don't have an immortal root. After reaching the Khanate realm, my cultivation speed will become slower and slower. In the future, I'll stay in my hometown. On the other hand, you have a bright future. You have to bring our family to glory in the future. I can bring you guys, but not Son Hu and Son Jia." Song Shi was clear about gratitude and grudges and did not care much about blood ties. "I heard that Son Jia's development is not bad. As for the specifics, third brother didn't say anything. I realize that our family is quite lucky and we will be blessed after surviving a calamity, especially you." Song Hai sighed. Song Shi pursed his lips. If not for him, the Song family would probably be finished. If he did not have the system, the Song family members in Jinzhou would definitely have been killed by Hai Duzi. With that person's fortuitous opportunity and temperament, it would not be difficult for him to kill his third and fourth brothers outside. After some time, "Tea's ready." Chen Yiling waved her hand handsomely and two teacups landed steadily in front of Song Shi and his brother. A faint fragrance filled the air and refreshed the heart. There was dense spiritual qi in the tea, and there were also faint mysterious runes jumping. It was obvious that it was not an ordinary item. Song Hai picked up his teacup and took a sip. Then, his body trembled and his eyes lit up. He was stunned on the spot. He only felt a cooling power surging into his body and his entire mind immediately became clear. Entering a rare ethereal state, the usual confusion about cultivation was quickly figured out by him at this moment. Unknowingly, he entered a state of enlightenment. This tea's effect on low-level cultivators is actually so obvious. He only took a sip. Song Shi was stunned. "Why do I feel that the effect on me is very ordinary after drinking it? It seems that my comprehension is too strong." Upon hearing Song Shi's muttering, Chen Yiling rolled his eyes. "Why don't you take a look at your cultivation level? However, even if your cultivation level is high, the effect shouldn't be weak. After all, this is spirit tea." As she spoke, her red lips parted slightly, and she took a sip gracefully. Just like Song Hai, his eyes, which were as pure and flawless as the stars, brightened a little, but not by that much. "The fragrance of the tea is endless, and my thoughts are ethereal. It's as if I've entered nature." As expected of the top spiritual tea in the world, Chen Yiling expressed her feelings and revealed a look of enjoyment as she continued to savor the taste. She was tasting tea, while Song Shi was admiring her. Only Song Hai was emitting light like a third wheel. As she drank it in one gulp, Chen Yiling's muscles and bones shone with a flash of light. Her face was filled with spiritual light. When she was almost done drinking the cup of tea, she glanced at Song Shi. "Why are you staring at me?" "Because you are more delicious." Song Shi smiled and took a sip, looking exceptionally satisfied. Smooth-tongued, Chen Yiling pouted coquettishly and drank the last mouthful of tea. Then, her long eyelashes trembled and she slowly closed her eyes. She also entered a state of enlightenment. Song Shi raised his hand and released his nomological power to form a barrier to isolate the two of them, preventing them from affecting each other. As for him, he could gain enlightenment at any time even if he did not drink tea. Naturally, he continued to drink tea. Soon, an obvious phenomenon erupted from Chen Yiling's body. The sword aura became gentle and quickly circulated around her delicate body, looking like threads. My sword intent has improved again. The sword Ji is like silk. Other than being sharp, there are also flexibility and changes. Song Shi observed seriously and chuckled. I can learn from her secretly again. Chen Yiling's sword Dao realm was higher than his. Now that she had advanced further, it was equivalent to having a teacher to demonstrate to him. Coupled with his comprehension, his improvement was twice as effective with half the effort. Not long after, his sword Qi also changed. There was more flexibility in its sharpness. Chen Yiling ended her epiphany and saw that Song Shi's sword Dao had also improved significantly. She mumbled, learning secretly again. Song Shi opened his eyes and did not feel embarrassed at all. He smiled and said, as long as there are 3 people, there will definitely be a teacher amongst them. It's necessary for me to learn from you. There must be a teacher among the 3 of us. Indeed, that makes sense. Chen Yiling was touched. This fellow was quite talented and could speak eloquently. Old 7th is a talent nurtured by our family. Has quite talented. Song Hai also woke up. His eyes were bright. Clearly, he had also gained a lot. Aya, the tea is getting cold. He thought of his tea and carefully covered it. You can't drink too much of this treasure at once. I will come back after a while. Song Shi picked it up and took a sip of cold tea. He said, indifferently, I'll leave some for you. Drink it if you have to. It's more important to convert resources into strength. Thank you. With this, I feel that the path to the extraordinary foundation establishment realm will be much smoother. Song Hai thanked him from the bottom of his heart. He was only a member of an ordinary family. This family had suffered too much. It was already rare for them to reach this step. He had already resigned himself to his fate where he lacked resources. Now, his 7th brother had given him a chance. Chen Yiling, leave a letter for your masters. Song Shi looked at Chen Yiling. Okay. Chen Yiling knew that Song Shi was afraid that the Zenith Heaven Guards would attack Song Hai. The more this was the case, the safer she was because both sides had hostages. She quickly wrote a letter. After Song Shi confirmed that it did not contain any information that should not be leaked, she handed the letter to Song Hai. At the same time, Song Shi drew a rune that protected the soul from afar, and inserted it into Song Hai Globella to prevent anyone from using a bewitching spell to make. Song Hai revealed their secret. If the Zenith Heaven Guards look for you, give them the letter. Remember not to reveal my true identity. Just say that I'm your second uncle. If possible, I can even get them to help you with some trivial matters. Song Hai accepted it in shock and looked at the 2 of them. Why did he feel that Chen Yiling was being held hostage by his brother? Don't think too much. Let's go. Well, come back next time we pass by. With that, Song Shi grabbed Chen Yiling's hand and flew away, leaving behind the tea set and the tea leaves that he did not drink much of. 7th brother is too unassuming. He actually used such a method to pursue a heavenly beauty like Chen Yiling. Song Hai sighed. In the air, Chen Yiling allowed Song Shi to grab her hand. She had been hugged before, so she did not resist this behavior anymore. She asked calmly, where are you going now? Lanya Immortal meeting. Song Shi gave a location, took out the flying ship, and began their journey.